Well, good afternoon and welcome to the 2025 Inter-Services Netball. I cannot believe it's been a full year since that exciting competition. I can't believe it's been 2 years since we first went live in RAF Cosford. Of course, it was in Aldershot last year, and we are down at the home of Royal Navy Sport, HMS Temeraire, this year. And I'm delighted that we're bringing you Inter-Services Netball for a third year running live. Let's just have a reminder of what happened last year in 2024 down in Aldershot. Yes, some very exciting netball, of course, played last year, and this brings us to a full house now. We've had the RAF hosting it 2 years ago at RAF Cosford. We had Aldershot last year, and we are here at the home of Royal Navy Sport for the third year of Inter-Services Netball Live, and I'm delighted that two Royal Navy dark blue, called Senior Service, have joined me for commentary. And many of you listened last year will remember that Hetty Tinsdale, she's joined us again. We can't keep her away. And this year we're delighted to be joined by Ruby Turner as well. Girls, just introduce yourself, let the audience know who you are and what you do.
Yes, I'm Hetty Tinsdale. I'm a medical assistant in the Royal Navy, and this is like my fourth Inter-Services, I think. Yeah.
Gosh, we're getting old.
I know, you're longer than me.
But yeah, hi, I'm Ruby Turner. I'm a nurse based at CTCRM, and this is my third Inter-Services, but I've been part of Navy Netball for about 6 years now.
I
know. Remember when we were both 18?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Good memories, good memories. And, you know, it's nice to play at home. I mean, we're not playing at Temeraire. We're playing over the road at the Ravelin Sports Centre, a lovely venue. And, you know, I mean, I'm not saying anything against Temeraire, but it had its issues, so it's quite nice to be in such a good facility here as well.
100%, and a nicer court as well, you have to say. With sports centres like this, you've got a slightly sprung floor, a lot more grippy, which means that you're going to see even better netball than you would see.
And you can even add as well with, you know, our civilian followers and our civilian supporters. It just makes it so much easier to get the crowds coming to support and cheer us all on, which is what we need.
Yeah.
And guys, tell me, you know, as the host this year, you have the luxury of being able to watch the RAF and the Army play each other. Of course, the Army dominant last year. Well, not that dominant, to be fair, but you know, they did win last year. They won 2 years ago as well. The RAF put up a really good fight 2 years ago in Cosford. Where's Royal Navy Netball at the moment? Are you feeling confident ahead of this tournament?
Definitely. I think this is one of our strongest years in a while, which is nice, and we've really been building. And looking around, there's a lot of new faces on the open. I mean, from myself speaking from the open perspective, there are a lot of new faces, which means that it's potentially a different tournament to what we might usually see.
We've brought in two fabulous new coaches, obviously. Probably not two new faces, but for us as a combination it's great. You know, we've got Commander Linda Kearney, who's come back for us, and then we've got Nordia Masters, who's kindly come to bring up our team and develop us to be better players, which has been fantastic for us this season.
Nordia Masters, was she Army?
She is.
And she's crossed
Army,
the line, is she?
She's coaching Navy, sat in a Royal Navy top jumper.
Well, of course, Northern Ireland she played for as well.
Yes,
so
definitely.
very, very experienced.
Definitely.
So amazing. So that coaching, that really brings up, I mean, the Army do so well with Shelley Copeland, and you know, they've had a lot of people coach in the past. That's really made a difference.
And yeah, so Nordia is one of the UCAF coaches.
Yes.
So that's why she's come in as a UCAF coach to support UCAF netball.
Yeah, we may be separate services at to look at, but at the end of the day, we are all here for netball. We all love netball, and we want to support and grow each other as much as possible.
And of course, we've had a development game and a Masters game today, and that will continue throughout this week. And we've also got the men's exhibition match tonight as well, really pushing for them to get an inter-services. I think one of them said maybe next year, but we'll see where it goes. Let's let the girls have their glory for now. Let's just go through the team list. I'm going to start with the RAF team, and you guys can interject with any names that jump out of you. I'm going to go from goalkeeper downwards. This is the starting 7 for the RAF. It's Emmy Jakeman in goalkeeper, Charlotte Brooker joining her there in the defensive circle. Wing defence, you've got Libby Weddle. In centre, Maeva Makutu. Wing attack, Olivia Towie, better known as Liv, obviously. Captain, goal attack, Francesca Kennard-Kettle. And goal shooter, you've got Sam Cortis. Quite a few, I mean, I remember Francesca from last year. Quite a few names on the bench that I remember, but quite a new look RAF team.
It is, it definitely is. I mean, looking at it, it's a different squad to we're used to, I think. We've got the old names, obviously, Francesca Kennard-Kettle. She's played UCAF before. She's a fantastic goal attack. And then the other one last year as well, Emmy Jakeman in goalkeeper. Again, she plays mixed netball as well, so she's really interesting to watch on the court because she does have that little bit different athleticism that other people might have. So, yeah, but it's a very new look team, which is exciting.
The bench for the RAF, you've got Laura Price, Rebecca Cameron, Hannah Knock, Martha Boundy and Kaylee Brearcliffe. Now, if we move on to the Army team, this is fairly unchanged. There's a couple of new names in there, but they've got the strong names who I know are sort of, I say nearing the edge of 40. I think a couple of them are over 40, but they're just such standout players. I am, of course, talking about Dee Bolokoro and Ellie Nweli as well. But let's start at goalkeeper. We've got Catherine Chadwick, who, of course, is the vice-captain. Dee Bolokoro in there at goal defence. We know that Dee can play at both ends. Wing defence is Katie Hawkins. In centre, the ever-reliable Sally Fisher. Wing attack, Rachel Rogers, who is a little pocket rocket. She's incredible. Goal attack, Millie Price. And goal shooter, their captain, Ellie Nwale. I mean, she's just a standout player, and I'm sure we'll talk a lot about her over the next 3 days. But, yeah, those names. I think Katie Hawkins, that's a new name this year, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think she's a new player, so that'll be really interesting because obviously don't know how she plays, so that'll be good to see.
Especially with a combination of, Chadwick and Dee, so strong in that defensive. So bringing in a new player, let's see how they utilise her in that defensive play, and let's see, how the RAF would then retaliate in a way.
On the bench we've got Mia Fanau, Chloe Marion, who's been around for a few years as well, Izzy O'Malley, who I think is a new face in the Army team, and Tamara Samuel. But like we said, has got the backbone that we've seen over the last few years, and it'll be interesting to see one day whether that backbone of that team retire. But I do know that we know that the Army has got strength and depth, haven't it? So they won their development match today, and
there's a strong bench they've got as well. So Izzy O'Malley, she's come up from the Devs this year, but she played UK Armed Forces last season as well. So she's had a massive development as a player. So I think they've got strong people to come on the court if they need to.
Well, guys, memories from last year. Is it? I mean, we've done this event. We've covered the Inter-Services netball for years, obviously, but doing it live for the last 2 years. Do you have good memories of Cosford and Aldershot? I know it didn't go the Navy's way every time, but
100%. I think even no matter whether you win or lose, it's always a good event. And what I love about having it filmed, it means that you've got all your family at home that can watch as well and comment on the YouTube. I know I've had people at work who have been sat at the desk watching it under the desk as well, and then you go back into work, and actually it gets broadcasted out to the ships as well, which I had. So my bosses all came in and was like, why were you on my screen playing netball when I came back in?
Talking netball.
Yeah. So it is really nice. I think that's
Ruby, do you think it's made a difference? I'm not doing this as selfish, I'm BFBS and everything, but do you think it's made a difference now we do it live?
I think it's fabulous. I'm from the Isle of Man, so it's hard for family to come over to watch if needed. So it gives that opportunity for home to come see and watch and be involved as well. You got my dad and my mom who'd be swiping up regularly to come in and see, and it just brings netball and makes netball more accessible. And I think it's look at the RAF team, so many new players are coming up because it's become so much bigger, and so many more girls are interested and wanted to play.
I mean the Super League's really helped, hasn't it? The international scene being televised so much has really helped on a wider scale. And it's nice to see that men's netball is now being recognised. I just worry that I don't want them to come in and overtake, because it's such a strong, predominantly strong women's game.
Netball's such a girl gang. I think will always be the shining light, I would like to say.
Well, this is the sort of pop star moment for all these players. They get to run onto position. We've got, as we said, the starting 7 for the Army looking incredibly strong, and the RAF starting 7 coming on too. That, of course, may change. The winner of this match will have a break and be able to play their final game against the Navy on Friday. The loser of this match will play the Navy tomorrow, and of course Hetty and Ruby involved in that. But yes, we are only a minute or at least a few seconds now away from the first centre pass. And girls, you know, I mean, do you think they'll pretty much go hard at it from the start?
I think so. I think this is going to be very full on from very early on.
You've got to create that impact, you know. That starting quarter says a lot about the training that's been put in, the ferocity.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
First centre pass to the Army, but it is intercepted by Rachel. Sorry, Liz, it's Libby, isn't it? On the Libby Weddle there. Very aware of Rachel Rogers' power, but the Army still have the ball. And yeah, we said this a lot, Hetty, last year. You sort of feeling each other out, aren't you, for the first few minutes? But it's sometimes
your first 5 minutes is probably where you get the most fumbling, most turnover.
Get all the mistakes in
early. Probably the most exhausting as well. Those first 5 minutes. I'm
feel like you've played a full game.
Yeah, my hair is drenched by the end of those 5 minutes.
Oh, lovely interception there.
They're just reading the game so well.
Yes.
But they're hustling, you know, they're denying that space, they're doing that more man-on-one marking, just causing the kind of slow progression through the court.
And a lovely take there by Ellie Noeli.
Yeah, at full pelt as well. And the RAF penalised. Both defence are out. So Noeli has a clear run on goal, and first blood then to the Army, but it was their first centre pass, but of course possession changed a couple of times in that first couple of minutes. The RAF now looking...
fabulous, such long arms.
You just can't send those overs.
No, you can't with Chadders in the way, you just can't. We learnt that.
That was a lovely tip there by Olivia Towie.
Yes.
Everyone's got those arms over.
She's very fast on her feet. That's a lovely take in, because Dee is... Yeah, that's Army's ball, because it didn't touch the ring. Catherine Chadwick, vice captain this year under Ellie Noeli, and
such great experience with Chadwick and Ellie Noeli as well.
Definitely.
And of course, you will have played with them at UCAF level, wouldn't you?
Go from playing with them to against them.
I know, it's hard as the Army take the second goal, and just very early on taking control here, but we know that it can all change very quickly. Brilliant to have you know, national level umpires as well involved in inter-services.
Definitely. I think it makes it so much smoother as a running game. Definitely.
Yeah, and you don't want to question people who are international.
Less likely to argue.
Yeah. 3-0 then to the women in red, as the RAF need to capitalise on their centre pass.
I think the key for RAF here is really utilising those short, sharp passes, because any long ones
are going to be intercepted, aren't they?
They're going to be intercepted.
Almost reset the ball and not force it in, as seen there. Just reset back to that centre.
Yeah.
Just to let people just find that new space.
Plenty of tips here, and this is what we love about it. I mean, netball isn't predictable, you know.
Lovely battle there between Kenneth Kettle and Dee.
And it's Liv Towie who's made the difference there again. And she doesn't have the longest limbs either, but she's uses what she has very well. Dee Balakoro, classic. Oh, that was a bit of a lazy pass back there, but it's still Army possession.
That's what Ellie Noeli does so well, is uses her body against her players, and it makes it so hard to come round as a defender from experience.
What you were saying about Emmy Jakeman, it didn't have much effect there, but wow, she's got a leap on her, hasn't she?
Yeah, so she's used to playing with men, so she can jump really high.
I'm enjoying this battle between Rogers and Weddle. Rogers, of course, for the Army, and Libby Weddle for the RAF. Oh, just got in. Well done, Ellie Noelle. So that is a strong start from the Army. It's a 5-0.
Hopefully, after like what we said earlier about those first 5 minutes, it all kind of cools down a bit and is less hectic, and maybe the RAF will then finally find maybe their stride,
to settle their passes a little bit. Lovely.
Yeah, suddenly, you know, 15 minutes a quarter seems like a really long time.
Definitely.
That was
this
position.
Lovely patience there by Olivia Towie, feeding into the circle.
I think the RAF just need to get their first one in, and that'll be them. That'll be them in the mojo.
Yeah,
Sam Cortis there for the RAF with the first point on the board for the light blues.
Such quick footwork from the defence.
Amazing.
That's 6-1 to Ladies in Red.
That man-on-man marking on the first centre pass is just slowing down and, you know, making the RAF work so hard to just get it moving almost.
Yeah, they can't use the first pass, can they, Everett?
Definitely not. I think Dee's putting a lot of pressure on Kenneth Kettle.
Oh,
means that she's having to work really hard, but she's still got the shot in.
Oh, such long arms.
Composure as well.
No. This is just a casual Wednesday for her. She does this in her sleep, doesn't she?
Noelle again up, but a rare miss. So it's backline ball for the RAF.
It'll be interesting to see if the RAF can like take this up the court and turn it over.
That was a good save by the light blues, but bit of a throwaway, unfortunately, there by Maeva Makatu.
Got to try and take your turnovers to goal.
Yeah, it's all very well to enact, you know, an amazing turnover, but then if you just throw away with a silly pass, then
definitely
you've not helped anyone.
Tends to be what the Army do very well as well, is not losing it when they win ball.
They're just so calm with it. There's no silly passes. Yeah. They provide that forward and lateral option all the time.
Oh, lovely ball there.
Emmy Jakeman, just going back a minute or so, but Emmy Jakeman on the rebound is incredible. When you're up against something like Ellie Noelle, like, you know, you need to be spot on, and that possibly is why she's been put back there.
Definitely, especially against the shooters, because shooters know when it's not going in, so they've already got a head up on you as a defence.
Yeah. Oh, a rare drop
lovely
there
pick
from
up there by Liv.
Yeah.
Francesca just telling everybody to calm down a little bit there.
Yeah, you need a calm head as a captain of this team.
Oh, what a feed.
Kenneth Kettle for the RAF, and they are 6-3 down, but definitely got the fight in. We've seen some amazing battles between these two teams over the last few years.
It's interesting to see that the Army aren't going for that first phase pass. They're kind of hanging back and trying to prevent that second phase, and it's interesting to see how they defend the zones.
Explain what you mean by that, Ruby.
So when we think about phases of passes on the first centre, phase one is from centre to the first pass within that centre third, and we see like the Army doesn't follow the RAF, and then second phase is that second pass into the goal third, kind of the most important pass, you could argue, getting it as close to the either circle edge, or if you got the shot, go straight to the shooter in the D.
Yeah.
And they're preventing that like second phase pass.
Okay.
That second
so they're
phase.
Concentrating more on that than the middle.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, what a rebound.
She's brilliant on that. I mean, that's the third time she's done that and got the ball back for.
And it's definitely rattling the Army shooters a little bit, I think.
You know, international or not, you're all playing your own game, and I think, you know, the RAF goalkeeper, Jakeman, she's doing so good at that, just keeping her cool.
Yeah.
Nice, short, sharp passes from
lovely.
the RAF, just carefully working it through, not really giving the Army
just
an opportunity to get
possession.
in between.
I mean, I know I bring this up every year, but when people say it's a no-contact game and you see the, you know, at either end, the physical battle that goes on.
I think Sam Cortis getting a bit sandwiched there.
It's that argument of contest or contact, isn't it?
Sally Fisher
Oh,
then too.
that was so close.
Just so well worked.
There's very little you can do that defence with the leg stretch and everything.
No, you have to try and work the front, which means getting your feet round. But then as soon as you come round, they'll just send the ball over the top of you. So it's a constant battle.
Yeah. The Army then 7-3 to the good. Of course, the 2024 reigning champions from 24 and 23.
It's interesting because the RAF there, they left the centre open, they did more of a zoning mark, and it just gave the Army that kind of like width and depth to do these passes, which is just getting it to the goal so much easier.
Yeah, definitely.
Millie Price showing her worth there as well, because we talk a lot about Noelle, but if you've got a backup like Millie...
Can't forget that Millie is a fantastic shooter as well.
Well read, goalkeeper.
Yes, she's pretty spot on as Millie as well. But yeah, Jakeman making a massive difference there in the circle.
Lots of pressure on there. Lovely spec.
Oh, well in, Sam Cortis.
That was a beautiful like draw out and draw back into
Brilliant, yes.
It's a fantastic feed.
That, you know, even at the level I play at, I'm always saying you've got to recut, you've got to make that, you know, you've got to keep moving. It's not enough just to go once.
No,
and
you cannot stop moving. No. Oh, lovely defence there, just completely confusing the space for that pass.
Both sides are making each other work so hard.
And it's so rare, isn't it, to see like 4 passes in 1/3 before you even get it out of your half. Charlotte Brooker putting in
I think the RAF are
marathon
really,
there in the middle.
Yeah, I think the RAF are really getting into the swing of it now, which is good to see.
Yeah, that's good. Well, tell you what, it's a long way to go. Still 3 minutes left in this quarter.
Such great innovation from Chadwick there.
That was
such
lovely
well read.
there by Chadwick. Well read.
Unfortunately went into touch, but yeah, the Gazelle is back. Ooh. That's all right. It's still light blue ball. Cortis there. Oh, lovely shot. Very clean.
The goal shooter's got her eye in, definitely.
Oh.
Oh.
Big centre court fights going on.
It just shows how passionate these girls are. Like, inter-services just mean so much to everyone.
Absolutely. And you know, there's a pressure, isn't there? Sort of.
That's those arms that you can't forget about.
It's like a crocodile snap. I actually did the movement, which is why I lost my microphone then. But yeah, Dee sort of bending in the middle. Amazing.
You don't think she's going, and then she just appears.
But I tell you what, Libby Weddle is reading the ball so well.
Definitely. She has got so many tips already.
Yeah. Oh, unlucky.
That was good pressure there from M.A. Jakeman.
Yeah. Probably a catch that Millie Price would take 99 times out of 100.
Now they just need to not throw this away. Keep it safe.
Once again, it's those little passes they need to do to kind of reset the ball rather than force it into the shooting D. But Chadwick with her long arms, they're so long.
Yeah, play to the whistle as well. If the umpire doesn't call it, you've got to just carry on.
And you've got to, I mean, I saw Sam's reaction there a little bit to Chadwick's defence, but you know, you can't let your head go down because 30 seconds is a long time in netball.
Yeah, you can have 2 centre passes in that time, can't you? Easily. It's interesting that gosh, Ellie Newelly, she had the ball, you kind of wanted to put the shot up straight away, but she's keeping it safe. She wants to get close. She wants to stay under. She doesn't want to throw away any opportunity that the Army has, almost.
She's just got she's got great ball skills in her own hands.
Yeah.
So she'll like play around with it. So you don't know where it's going to, where the pass is going to come from, who she's going to pass it to.
She's got her own netball language going on in the circle. How many times you play against her, you still can't figure it out.
I remember seeing her. I was going to say, sorry. I remember seeing her play for the first time at Netball Europe, and she was just phenomenal.
I mean, that was what, 20 years ago?
Must be.
When the UCAF came to Isle of Man, that was 2019.
Oh, okay, so not too long ago.
That's when they won Netball Europe.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. I remember that tour now. Yeah, I remember that.
I think it was with Linda Kearney.
Oh, there's
yes.
a little bit
and
of
audio, wasn't it?
So just 20 seconds or so left in this quarter, and it's 11-5 to the Army, and they have broken that 10-goal barrier.
Army just trying to keep possession.
Oh.
Before. They did it anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got to have a bit of flair.
Straight to goal. Wrap-up goal. It's just straight
Into
to goal.
Into goal.
Just got to fling it.
Travers, I mean, yes. They were just trying to get ahead there, the RAF, but it is 11-5 at the first quarter after the first 15 minutes to the reigning champions, the British Army. But just a quick word from you guys before we go to a little break. Kind of what you expected in the first 15 there?
Yeah, the RAF, I mean, seeing as there's so many new faces, the RAF, they've come in strong. I'm really impressed. It's really good to see, actually.
Yeah, I don't think the scoreline reflects kind of like the effort that both sides are putting in. There's so many turnovers, there's so many tips, but it's going to be an interesting second quarter. I'm excited.
Okay, well, do join us back. We should only be 4 minutes between quarters now, so we're just going to take a little bit of a break, a little bit of a breather. Also, you can take a break from our voices too, but do come back for the second quarter and stay with us live here on BFBS.
The near post, he's heading on, and he's to the back of the net. That's a great save around the goalkeeper. Ball comes in. It is a leveller. And it's a goal! 2-1 Navy! It's a goal, John.
Yes, welcome back to HMS. Well, I'm going to say HMS Temeraire. We're just over the road in the Ravelin Sports Centre, but we are still in Portsmouth, which of course is the home of Royal Navy Sport, hosting the Inter-Services Netball 2025. And it does mean we've now done a full house, been at RAF Cosford 2 years ago and Aldershot last year, and now we're here, and I'm delighted to be joined, if you need reminding, by Hetty Tinsdale and Ruby Turner from Royal Navy Netball. And yeah, we were just saying that that's pretty much what we expected, I think, from the Army, but Hetty was saying impressed by the light blue ladies there, a lot of new faces. And it's I mean, I guess from your perspective, it's nice as a Navy player to be watching, because you will play these teams, over the next couple of days, but also from a UCAF, I mean, you must always have that head on as well.
Yeah, so. Definitely. It's just exciting to see, because each UCAF season there's new faces, and then this year there's a lot of people that aren't here who would usually be here, so it is exciting to see that it's going to be a different looking squad, which will be good for those who get selected.
Yeah, and Ruby, I mean, I say more of the same from the Army, but they are being made to work there. But there are a lot of characters in there that we're very familiar with. But you're not surprised that they're 11-5 ahead at the moment?
Not surprised. You know, like I said earlier, just, you know, the effort that's put in does reflect, you know, like the scoreline at all. But I do think the Army are being made to work hard, a lot harder than I initially thought they would be. So, you know, the RAF, you know, just interesting to see the energy, the fitness that they have for the second quarter, and if the Army can continue. But they're playing phenomenal. They're getting their arms everywhere. They're just reading it so well. Like, you cannot fault them. They are a sensational force.
The score last year in the Open tournament between the Army and the RAF was 36-29, and that followed 2023, which is incredibly exciting. And I think the Army, yeah, it's 44-36. No, that's development. No, that's Open. 44-36 between these two. So really close, you know, within 10 goals for the last couple of years. But actually 10 goals is quite generous. I think what the Army have done over the last couple of years is they've wobbled a bit and then come back in that final quarter. They just sort of had the strength and depth. But yes, if Millie Price gets this one in, that is 12-5 to the Army. And it's their centre pass as well. So Sally Fisher with the centre to Rachel Rogers.
Oh, what a tip there from Emmy Jateman.
She's just reading the game so well. She's getting her hands in pretty much all the time.
She's making elevation every time.
Was Jateman who you said is playing mixed at the moment?
Yeah, she plays mixed.
So she seems to have the elevation and the just extension of the arms as well, doesn't she? A bit of a throwaway pass there from the light blues.
RAF just got to keep, you know, doing those short, sharp passes. You know, that was what was working for them towards the end of the first quarter. They just need to kind of bring that back in as they settle into this one.
Charlotte Brooker as well, definitely got Millie Price's number. She's very physical there, but
yeah, definitely. I think
Oh.
Charlotte Brooker's given her a good
run around.
A good battle.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see Jateman there. Oh, physical battle between the goalkeeper and the goal shooter. But it's another goal for the Army. It's 14-5. And both teams, as far as I can see, yes, are unchanged for this second quarter. Millie Price.
Oh, forced the pressure there by Emmy Jateman.
The RAF
forced the 3 seconds.
timed out.
Yeah.
Right.
RAF defence is just incredible. They're so strong, I think, the RAF defence.
Oh,
read beautifully there by Dee.
Yeah, snuck in.
Dee just sneaks up on you. Like, you take your eye off her for 1 second, she's someone completely different.
It's halfway across the court.
You know, for a woman with such long limbs, you expect to see her so much easier, but you just don't.
Charlotte Brooker, I don't know if that was frustration or she was just trying anything she could, but to no avail, and the Army have another goal.
RAF have just got to protect this ball and get it to goal.
Yeah. Get another few points on the board.
We've got a free player there.
Lovely taken there by Novaka. Oh, held.
Oh, Dee. She admonishes herself every time she makes a mistake, but
she's a perfectionist, that's why.
She's a good bit of teamwork there in the defensive circle.
Oh, what a lovely tip there.
A tip from Dee and a catch from Chadwick, so...
Again, RAF have just got to protect that ball to their shooting. Dee, they've got it, they've just got to keep their cool and just make those smart passes, which they can do.
Yeah, just keep possession, that's it, nice little passes.
Look for that reset option, which is that backwards option, which was just done there beautifully. And just keep utilising those.
Yeah, play it into space. Oh, lovely. Well, Liv Towie there, keeping hold of the ball.
Oh,
Lovely
what a
from behind.
stretch.
Taken by Dee. You're very rarely going to get a rebound against Dee.
It's almost like she's got magnets in her hands, the way the ball is just attracted to her, almost.
Oh, lovely tip.
I'm really loving this contest between Maven Makutu and Sally Fisher.
Yeah.
Towie, the RAF wing defence, is reading the game as well with those tips.
Yeah.
I don't know how Rachel Rogers got that, to be honest.
I was thinking the exact
2-1.
same. It's just they're so strong in their passing. They're so direct. There's no long loopy passes.
No.
They're going to who they want it to go to.
That's a lovely stretch there by Charlotte, and a
lovely
rebound. Fantastic. Lovely take.
So yes, Maeva Makutu in the middle there. A new face to me.
But she's taken it in so much in her stride, though, as a new face. She's stepped up. She's playing so well. You wouldn't think it's her first inter-services
No,
at
you
all.
wouldn't. Katie Hawkins.
And again, you know, just uses her body so well to just get those positionings she needs to get those goals.
Not letting Charlotte round.
And yes, the Light Blues they haven't scored now in this quarter. And it's been 6 minutes already. I know they can't hear me, so
unlucky there.
You know, this is the moment where the girls just got to keep their heads up, keep playing, keep fighting, and stay calm with each other as well.
Yeah, otherwise the Army will just tick over.
That's what the Army do so well, is that 1 minute you're down by 2 and then the next it's about 10 and you don't really know what's happened from experience.
The Army then with a chance to put another one in.
Such great elevation.
Nawali special, and that is 18-5. The ladies in red honing in on 20 goals.
Nice mark in there from Kenneth Kettle, just trying to keep Rachel out of the goal third.
Yeah, I think
the RAF are just, you know, the Army defence is so great that the RAF is just being kind of pushed further and further away from the people with the ball for that pass. But they're doing really well again with those short, sharp
job
passes.
there by Olivia Towie to break through that Army defence. It's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, it's constantly. She is the 1-2 at the minute, Olivia. Yeah, defence is so. I mean, they're running out of options sometimes. But there's no one free.
They're being so patient though, the RAF. They're being so patient to not just force it in, which is paying off.
Lovely take.
It really was. There was a goal being knocked over in the background as well.
Player versus pole, who would win? It might be the pole on this one.
Well, you can use the pole now, can't you? If you've got a back door pass, back line pass, you can use the pole.
Yeah,
now,
you can bounce it across the pole and then catch it as long as you've landed back on court.
Yes. I see that being used quite a lot.
It's very frustrating as defence when they use the pole, because it's not the play you were expecting sometimes. You're like,
and also you can't get in between it. Like there's no way of defending that.
No.
The Army then 19-5 to the good, and the RAF sent past Chadwick. Another gazelle-like leap. Footwork from D, so it's back in light blue.
Can never underestimate how quickly Chadwick can get from that centre circle to the transverse line.
And again, the RAF have just got to protect this ball and do those short. Amazing.
The RAF need to. I mean, they need to get those small ball, short balls in. Really, don't they? Because maybe it's a bit of a confidence crisis because they're 19-5 down, but
yeah, I think the defence are putting so much pressure on them leading up to getting in the circle that they just need to take that second and breathe before they put their shot up. I mean, it's easy to say as a defender.
Of course,
Can't say I've ever.
It's easy to say as a commentator, but you'd think the ones under the goal they would get in.
Yeah, but it's hard when they're having to work so hard to then compose themselves to put that shot up.
I'm only saying it in the knowledge that they're probably thinking it as well.
Yeah.
And, putting pressure on themselves too.
Definitely.
But the RAF do so much better when they are doing those short, sharp passes.
Yeah. Not giving the Army time to set up their defence they want to set up, I think, is working.
But they're still ball hungry, which is fabulous to see.
Lovely job there by Francesca. Using her body against D to actually stop her getting the ball.
And
Lovely shot.
Lovely from
Great
Chaska.
shot.
First score of this quarter for the RAF. It's 19-6, the Army lead.
They worked hard as well. That was a long
That was a
centre pass to
definitely
centre pass.
deserved.
Got followed up, and the Army have reached 20. It is 20 goals to 6.
So they're rolling subs
With
now.
rolling subs, yes. So Cortis is off. Apologies, and
it's Martha Bundy.
that is
I think,
Martha
which has
Boundy.
come
Yeah.
on.
Is it Boundy or Bundy?
Boundy, probably.
Boundy.
I
Yes,
can't
Martha
read.
Boundy come in for goal shooter for the Light Blues.
Did she play the development game this morning? Martha Boundy.
She was down listed as development. I know they brought a couple of players up from development, so yes, I believe she did. So she's already got a game in those legs.
She could probably use that to advantage. You know, she's warmed up, she's played.
Yeah.
She's
got
got
nerves out her system.
Yeah, she's got a netball head on.
She's also got to play Catherine Chadwick.
Yeah.
Yeah, bless her. Again, I'm so grateful on defence.
Definitely perks. Oh, lovely space. And it was a lovely draw there from Francesca as well. So giving Martha the space to work herself in and get a shot on the board, which I think is so important.
Great hands there.
Great hands, and the RAF got it back.
You know, bringing someone on mid-game is all about that impact play to you kind of get used to your opposition. So now that we're allowed to do these rolling subs, it, you know,
Yeah,
Makes such a difference,
It
doesn't
does.
it?
Yeah, a new rule
It's such a
that's come
dynamic
in.
game. It needed that.
Definitely.
And, you know, it's no slight on Sam Cortis at all, but perhaps she needed a breather. She just needed to get her head back, you know, after a couple of misses.
Definitely.
And Martha can come in with new legs
Yeah.
and new confidence.
And you find it's the same in attack and defence. You get used to the players you're playing, and sometimes if you're on a bit of a lose, then you need to switch it up. Give the defence
great
something
shot.
else to think about. That was
Yeah.
lovely there by
The
Francesca.
RAF on the drive. 8 goals to the Army's 20, but they've definitely had the better of it in the last couple of minutes.
Oh.
just a bit too many beans in that pass. It was the right idea. She had the space.
It's one of those ones where if it comes off, you're like, oh, that's the flairest thing I've ever seen. But if it doesn't, you're like, ah,
Yeah.
it's a killer.
Oh,
That was so quick.
Millie Price then for the Army, and that is 21 goals for the ladies in red to the RAF's 8. Katie Hawkins been very reliable from behind there.
Rachel did a lovely job there of losing Libby Weddle. Lovely dodge.
Yeah, it's been a good battle, that one. Wing attack and wing defence. On both sides, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Jakeman over the ball. Waterley. And actually, well, I say put her off, but she was penalised for that. So another goal to the Army.
I think Jakeman's just got a bit of confusion on why she's getting called up. She looked
Right.
into the umpire there. Maybe it's because she's not bringing her arms down quick enough when she lands into the space.
Into the space, yeah.
Yeah, because that's really important to remember, isn't it? It's the
Yeah.
arms on the 3 feet as well as
Yeah,
the...
you have to make sure your feet are away, and then if you do get closer, as long as your arms are down, then
Yeah.
you're not obstructing.
Oh, that's gone in from Ken Kettle.
Shot
Brilliant,
from
lovely.
Francesca.
Even with a leap from Bolokoro, the RAF definitely...
Oh, what a take there.
Jakeman.
Oh,
Oh, but it's safe from the Army.
it's fantastic eyes.
Yeah, she's just constantly on the ball.
She is. And that's what you want to
Great.
see. That's how you combat Ellie Noelli, is getting around the front of her, not letting her do that 1-2, and then they have to feed it into Millie.
Yeah.
It is so tiring, though.
Says the voice of experience.
Taken.
Oh. Do you know what I really love about Liv Towie as well? She really wants the ball every single time she makes a pass, and then she immediately wants it again.
Yeah, she's
that's really good.
constantly going and
Yeah.
being an option for the team, which is the wing attack's job. Like,
Yeah.
they should be the playmakers down that court, which she is absolutely doing. That was a I think
Yeah, it's a ball back in RAF hands.
Yeah. She's just there every time.
Yeah. She's just the she's the go-to. I think Dee just hangs off so well, doesn't she? She hangs off so well, and then so you just don't see her coming, like you said.
No, she likes to hunt for the ball. She'll just stand in some space and then watch the passes and go for it.
Oh.
Needed to plant her feet then, I think Kate did.
But again, Towie's just been absolutely on the ball.
On her.
She's been hustling.
It is lovely to see it when you've got an attacker that works so hard to defend as well.
Yeah, that's really nice.
It's the worst thing as a defence when you've got an attacker that's defending you.
That's what I always really enjoyed about wing defence. You know, they call it the sort of irrelevant position, but I loved it because you could be an attacker and a defender. In one.
And you know what? If a wing defence is doing their job, then the wing attack shouldn't really get the ball.
Right.
And if the wing attack's not getting the ball, then you're not getting the ball as the wing defence. I think it's the most underestimated position.
Well, I think that's the line of it, really. That's repossession, unfortunately.
It's interesting to see. It's almost gone back to that manic state of the first quarter as the time ticks down to that half-time.
And we've only got 2 seconds left until half-time. It is 24 to the Army and 9. They're just going to wing it now because they've only got a second. So that is half-time. As I said, 24 goals to the Army in red and 9 goals to the light blues, the RAF. And another summation. We're now at halfway point. Quite a big gap that they've opened up, the Army. Maybe from a neutral's point of view, it's possibly quite a big gap to close up. But what's your reckoning, Hetty?
Yeah, it's a big gap to close up, but there is still half an hour left. So I think they still can do it. They're making enough turnovers to do it. It's just converting those turnovers. When they win the ball, they need to calm it down and get it into the net. Easier said than done against a defence like the Army.
Yeah, like you say, and Ruby, it's the Army's ability to tick it over without people even noticing sometimes.
Yeah, they're just finding those spaces. They're using the channels of the centre and the far sides of the court so well. And they're doing the pre-moving to get into those spaces. I think with the RAF, they're just forcing those long balls, and as we have said, with Dee and her hunting, Chadwick and her hunting, it's just going to go into the Army hands every single time. They're just reading it so well. The Army, you can't fault them. You can't fault them.
As much as we try, you really can't.
They are fabulous players, but it'll be interesting to see. Will the RAF keep their heads held up high, and will they continue to hustle, which they have done?
Yeah, definitely.
Right, so that's the Navy viewpoint from here in the commentary box, and Hetty and Ruby will still join me for the second half of this first inter-services in the open competition of 2025, and the Army are 24 goals to the RAF's 9. Do join us again for the second half of this very exciting match.
This is about honing skills in this environment, but it's also about trying out new tactics to ensure the battle group can be effective.
The truth, of course, is that these soldiers are returning to a battlefield that is becoming increasingly difficult for Ukraine.
This is about international integration. It's about relationship building and understanding how our more diverse platforms can operate together.
Could the next war be won by artificial intelligence? And is Britain ready for the fight?
This is Vahana, one of 35 now in operation right across the Royal Navy.
Twin jet, very, very manoeuvrable.
The troops have been rehearsing what is effectively a grand performance to show off their newfound skills. skills to an audience of VIPs.
This is where you would essentially work when they come to play. So the door's shut and then they're in their element.
Their mission was to help maintain and improve the animal enclosures across the park.
We've been laying all of this.
We've helped redo a couple of enclosures.
Towards the near post, he's heading on, and he to the back of the net. That's a great save around the goalkeeper. Ball comes in, it is a leveller. And it's a goal! 2-1 Navy! It's a goal shot!
Hello and welcome back to Portsmouth for the second half of this first match in the open competition of the Inter-Services Netball 2025. It is 24 goals to the Army and 9 to the RAF. I'm joined, of course, by Hetty Tinsdale and Ruby Turner from Royal Navy Netball. And we haven't got Hetty at the moment, Ruby, but we were talking, you know, during the first couple of quarters about the strength of the Army, but both of you have been really impressed by the RAF. Who in particular has impressed you in that first half?
I think a name which keeps leaving my lips is Jakeman. The elevation she gets, the reading of it so well, the tips, her arms just seem to go on forever. It's insane. And I also think as well, we said about the centre kind of rivalry that is being brought on with Makutu. She's hustling. She's not giving up the fight. And I think, again, great tips are being made by the centre court. You know, it's been phenomenal to watch. And I'm a defence girlie, so I'll always up my defence girls for the RAF, and I think they've played so well.
Two defence, actually, isn't it? Both of you are defenders here. They are of the taller variety, so I can tell you, I'm also a defence in my recreational netball on a Monday. But I started off as one of those people who started at one end of the court, and as I've got older, I've just been shunted along to the other one. But do you know what? the last couple of years, I've really enjoyed playing goal defence because, again, you still get a little bit of attacking element. But I'm really enjoying honing at the royal age of 46. I'm enjoying honing my goal defence skills, and you know, I can't leap like Emmy Jakeman, but I'm enjoying the challenge of it.
Definitely. I love defence. I think when you play defence, you have to have such a different ability to read the game sometimes, because you have to know what pass is happening about 4 times before it's happened. Both attack and defence have their different ways, but I definitely think when you're a defender, it's clever netball sometimes.
It's like you're not playing netball. You don't play netball as a defender. You stop people playing netball. Like, you don't actually get to play.
You're trying to stop the netball happening.
You know, you're not doing the great shots or the long shots. You're ruining everyone else's day by stopping the netball.
Is it a bit like in rugby, where you've got the forwards who claim to do all the hard work, and then they pass it off to a back and they can't score, and you're just like, oh, come on, guys. I'm putting my heart and soul in.
You know, and the backs are the ones covered in, and the forwards are there covered in mud, and the backs are the ones who score at the end. So,
clean cut, especially on Astro now. So so we're back for the second half. It is 24 points, 24 goals to the Army and 9 to the RAF. And there's been a few personnel changes in the light blues, and we'll bring those to you. That's a lovely feed. I think, wing defence, they've got Izzy's come on, hasn't she?
Yeah,
Izzy O'Malley for the Army.
And Chloe Merrion in wing attack.
That's right,
come on.
wing attack. So the 2 changes for the Army.
2 very strong players.
The RAF have changed their centre, so it's no longer...
So we've got Rebecca Cameron, I think. Is that on in centre?
Yes, that's Rebecca Cameron on centre. And they've also their wing defence as well, which is, I think, is that Hannah Knock?
Hannah Knock, yes. Again, 2 experienced RAF players, so they have done many inter-services between them. So they've got more experience again on the court, which is good to see.
The Army, though, with reaching a quarter of a century of goals here, 25-9. Chloe Merrian's really impressed me, actually, over the years. Again, a real kind of, another Rachel Rogers, very sort of pocket rocket in that position, in the attack position.
She seems quite quiet on the court, but she will get ball, and she's just a constant workhorse, definitely, on and off the ball. Which is interesting to see her against Hannah Knock, who's the same, who's constant, does not stop moving.
Actually, they very similar with the blonde hair tied back as well.
Yeah.
And they've stuck with, so Kennard Kettle sticking in the goal attacker position. They stuck with Martha Boundy for now in the goal shooter position.
She brought on a change which the RAF needed in that second quarter, so I think that was a smart call by the RAF to like bring her maybe, you know,
different style shooters as well. So
Sam Quarters.
Yeah, so Martha Bound is a lot more of a holding shooter. Doesn't move as much, but
Emmy Jakeman playing a bit of badminton or tennis there, but it was effective.
And it's just those fakes that Ellie does to like draw the defenders to go one direction and then does it the other direction. Almost get whiplash every time you move about for them.
Lovely hustle there by Emmy.
The use of the short ball and the bounce ball, which, you know, sometimes goes a bit out of fashion, but
yeah, not when Ellie Noel is playing.
I think a short and low ball is every defender's worst nightmare because we have to get down to the floor to reach them, and our knees are all knackered as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, knees are a thing in netball, aren't they?
100%.
Yeah. Knees and ankles.
Knees and ankles. Just the impact, and usually it's one leg. Everyone has a favourite leg.
Everyone's got a favourite
Every
leg.
single time, that same knee just taking all the hits.
Oh, a tactical change done by the RAF.
Okay.
So they're moving Emmy into goal defence.
Almost a kind of like,
Laura
is that
Price?
shake it up?
Is that, I think that's Kate, oh, yeah, it must be Laura Price. Yeah, goal defence, goal, yeah, Laura Price.
It's interesting that they've done it this early on as well.
Again, just once the shooters have settled, you need to do something to change it up.
Yeah.
And I think Emmy's going to add a bit of vision maybe to get turnover earlier in the court before it gets into centre circle. I think that's maybe what they're expecting.
Yeah. And as the game goes on, you know, needs a bit of energy out there in the middle.
Definitely, and she's definitely got the fitness.
Because there was Antea Captain, she played for you until last year, didn't she? And she was basketball, she played every kind of football,
squash.
So she must have been a similar player to play against.
Yeah, definitely. She was centre court, and she's just one of those people that is constant. I think my first inter-services, she played centre for like the whole game. Which is such an impressive feat to do.
I don't think she was tired by the end of it either.
Not at all.
She probably went and played football that night or something.
Absolutely. You know,
I think she actually did play football in services the week after netball in services.
It does happen in the next couple of weeks, yeah.
As if that isn't enough.
Yeah.
Ooh, Army just a little bit too quick with their passes there.
Again, maybe bringing on our new goalkeeper has unsettled them a bit. Maybe this is what the kind of change that the RAF were hoping for.
Yeah. Kind of up to level again, the intensity in this quarter, I think. Lovely shot there by Millie. Just keeping the Army scoreboard ticking over.
So the Army have reached 30. It is 30 goals to 10 and 31 now to 10. The Army increasing that gap quite impressively because...
Strong backup there from Hannah Knock, just being an option for the attackers to help them out.
Yeah, Dee and Chadwick, Dee Bolliker and Catherine Chadwick, just seem to have more space. I don't know whether it's just the length of their limbs or just the way they play.
They probably they played together for so long. They were playing together in my first inter-services back in 2020. And maybe they're just so good at giving each other the space and not driving into each other's space.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's when netball gets messy, is when you all get clumped together.
And how much time do you have together? You have training camps throughout the year, don't you? So 2 or 3 days a time, or
yeah,
do you get
I think
a
each
week?
service is a little bit different. For us, we do a weekend every month for kind of 5 months, and then we have a week of training. And I think all the services have a week of training camp
in the lead up.
In the lead up, so either the week before or 2 weeks before, so you've got a week break before into services.
Yeah, we were very lucky this year. We went to Gibraltar for our training camp, and there was a bit of sunshine. So,
nice.
So some tactical changes going on for all the teams.
So we've got Maeva Makutu coming back on in the centre for the RAF, and Livy Weddell back in the wing defence position for the RAF. I thought Chadwick's staying on. Ellie Noelli's come off, and we've got, I think, is that Mia Fanau, or is that Tamara Samuel, I think, in the goal shooter position?
I'm not too sure. I think we both commented that this is a new face that
it's new face that I've not seen before. I want to say Mia, but we'll...
Yeah, I think you're correct with Mia. I mean, this is when we get loads of comments saying we've got
the
yeah,
wrong.
it's Mia.
It's Mia, yeah.
We're lining up pictures and faces. Do forgive us for not being entirely knowledgeable on new faces, but that signifies Kennard Kettle with another goal for the RAF. And yes, this is...
I think maybe Tamara. I just heard someone shout T.
Oh, okay. We're wrong. Tamara Samuel then for the Army, and she misses her first couple of attempts.
Now the RAF have just got to keep it cool, calm, collected, do those short passes, which they have been doing so well, and just play their own game. I think they're trying to play an Army game at times with those long, loopy passes.
Unlucky there from Emmy. It's just a slip of the hands with the ball. Lovely shot there by Tamara.
Definitely Tamara.
Definitely Tamara.
Apologies, Tamara and family. We now will recognise you when you play again. Yeah, a few changes as legs get a little bit lactic acid. Liv Towie up against Izzy O'Malley.
That was a lovely chase there by Izzy O'Malley.
Brilliant.
Just not letting herself go phased by the
And she had to go to one leg as well. So
yeah, she held it so well.
Got a little bit sandwiched on the way.
Samuel
and
again.
Tamara just slotting herself into this game so nicely. You wouldn't even tell that she didn't start on the court.
She's so cool and calm and collected.
Definitely.
And she's hustling. She's got such quick feet.
And do you know what? She's taking that high ball really well for someone who's actually shorter than her two defence as well. It's obviously something the Army have worked on. So they've moved up very quick, 3 goals, and it's back in possession. The RAF need to watch this because turnover ball is going to lead to obviously a bigger deficit. They're already 36-11 down.
Has an advancement been called there?
I think so.
Yes. What would that have been? Just not chat back, or?
Yeah, or persistent. Sometimes if you do persistent obstruction or you keep contacting, then the umpire can advance it, especially if they've already warned you about it.
So she brought her forward 4 or 5
yeah,
metres.
so they can bring it forwards.
In these 2 final quarters, we'll probably see these a lot more as players grow tired.
Build up and building up.
It builds up as
penalties,
well.
Yeah.
But you have to be careful now, because with the new rules, the umpires can just send players off for 2 minutes.
You don't really see that much in netball,
which we've had twice today already.
Oh, in the other matches.
Okay. So and they don't even have to warn you. So whereas before you'd have to get warning, then sent off.
Now you're just off.
Now they can just send you off if they think it's deliberate or dangerous, just to protect the safety of everyone on the court. Lovely shot there from Millie.
This is a fabulous combination, Millie and Tamara. They read each other really well, I think.
think Chloe Merriam's had a fantastic quarter as well on the court, just silently getting the ball into the shooters every time.
And she's ready, you know, she doesn't assume they're going to get a goal in. She's always sort of ready for the next, for the rebound or the next ball.
Definitely.
I think, you know, it just shows that, you know,
The
however
Army
good
then,
you are, it's never going to definitely happen. You should always think of the what ifs, buts. And I think that's what makes them phenomenal, because, you know, in those rare cases where it does become a rebound, they're there and they're going to grab them.
Two quick goals in succession there from the Army.
Yeah, they're piling it on. It is 40 goals to the Army and 11 to the RAF, and the RAF haven't really moved on in the second half.
Another interception there.
And
That's
the
by
Army.
Sally Fisher.
Millie has been a great addition. Not Millie. Well, Millie has always been a great addition, but Tamara as well. She's been a great addition.
And that is Laura Price being
cautioned there.
Yeah. I mean, that'll be out of frustration, won't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, the Army are going so quickly, sometimes you just can't move your feet fast enough and you just end up into the player. It happens.
It's almost like breaking distance, isn't it?
Yeah, trying to stop your body.
Yes, the RAF need to use this, keep it safe.
Army defence is just so tight, they're not giving the RAF any space to work the ball down.
How do you practice that man-on-man to make it this good, this tight?
You almost can't, I don't think. Because
it's just a way of playing.
Yeah, it's just playing, and I think it's experience as well. So the higher the level you play at, the more you get used to that man-on-man and the physicality. But I still remember when Dee got moved into goal attack last year. I remember going up for a rebound and getting absolutely flung off the court by just her strength with the ball, which you have with the experienced players.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely take there.
Yes.
And she's just there, she paused, she waited for that 3-second ball, almost to calm the RAF team, which I think they need just to play their game at their own pace.
And she's perfectly placed to do it at centre as well.
Definitely.
That was very Serena Guthrie-like, wasn't it?
Yes. That centre is that key position because you're the link to keep both sides calm.
Oh, it wasn't a 3-second ball that the players thought it was. It's
contact, I think, by Sally.
Yeah, still in RAF hands.
Take there by Francesca.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
Boundary just moved off Chadwick there. Absolutely brilliant from the
set
RAF.
up lovely as well.
There's going to be more turnover.
Yeah, so Hannah not coming back on into wing defence, I think.
Do you think it's almost tactical with the RAF doing this many tactical
I think
substitutions?
so. I think the Army have been on a bit of a run as well, so making a tactical change, slowing it down for a second, kind of getting them out their flow of things.
It's smart. It's smart with these new rules.
Yeah.
So that's Weddle then, who has taken over the centre bib.
Yeah, so Weddle's coming to centre.
Played brilliantly at wing defence.
Definitely, and then Hannah Knox gone back into wing defence. I think we got a bit of fatigue hitting teams now.
Yeah.
But netball fitness is just something so different. It doesn't matter how many miles you can run or how much you can lift. Netball fitness is just something else.
It's explosive, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think especially into services, because it's the adrenaline, the pressure.
Yeah.
Everybody watching. I think Sally then just tried to do a tactical change, but you have to tell the umpire before the centre pass.
Oh, right, okay.
Otherwise, they'll just keep playing it through, which happened there. Picked up there by Francesca.
Good fight there for the RAF, good fight. Oh, yeah. That's only going to work a couple of times with Chadwick.
You just can't send it over her head.
Yeah, Dee relishing that mid-court role that she loves so much. But yeah, T. Samuel.
I really love how she's come on so well onto the court.
She holds, but she's quick-footed, she rolls, she hustles, she's class tomorrow.
Defence's worst nightmare.
So Rachel Rogers then has come on as centre for the Army, taking over from Sally Fisher. And I think that's Mia Finau who's come on at goalkeeper for the Army. So yeah, we'll probably see more rolling subs now that legs are getting tired.
Yeah, definitely.
Kennard Kettle then for the RAF. Playing a captain's game there. Lucky 13 for the RAF. It's 43 to the Army. And they're well in control here in Portsmouth.
Oh, so close there by Amy. A
Oh,
lovely shot from Millie.
Does she like that one?
Yeah, I think she's definitely got her eye in now. Because she can shoot from everywhere. They do a lot of short, sharp balls to each other in that shooting end for the Army, but Millie can shoot from anywhere in that circle.
And Millie's just putting on the captain.
I wondered what that was.
Identifier. So with the new rules now, you must be able to identify the captain.
Okay.
So it looks like a little green tag. Yeah, and then
so that's been passed from Ellie Nwale to Catherine Chadwick, and then Catherine Chadwick onto Millie.
Lovely work there by Francesca, just working the ball into the D with Liv Towie. But a rebound from the Army. Oh, take there by Amy Jakeman.
It just shows how strong Tamara has been coming onto the court, because they're double marking her here, causing her to force these contacts on the RAF defence.
Fast feet, but Liv Towie caught it.
Oh, well in. Good,
well read.
Good hands for her first touch.
I know. Fantastic, Mia Fano. Oh, what a take there by...
That's Libby Weddle.
Yeah, again.
Yeah, her tips have been incredible.
Even though the score is what it is, the RAF are just...
Oh.
That quarter went so
well, they're getting a bit of momentum, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're getting a bit of momentum, but then, you know, I don't know, silly passes and factoring Bolokoro into that factor as well. But yeah, I mean, 44-13, it seems ungettable. But I suppose now perhaps the RAF will, well, if they play like they did in the last minute of that quarter, and like we've seen patches of them, but the unfortunate thing is the Army are always going to have a centre pass, and they're always going to get, like we say, they can tick it over. So I can't see an RAF comeback, but perhaps they should concentrate on, or will be concentrating on just winning this quarter, maybe.
Yeah, winning this quarter, and I think just keeping their feet planted when they get the ball, and just sending that easy ball, not pushing each other too much, keeping that ball safe into the D, because they can still get some goals on the clock. They've got enough time to. They're probably not going to catch up, but they can still put some more on.
Almost like keep the scoreline like goal difference, or try and close it a little bit. You know, keep putting them best selves out onto the court. You know,
definitely.
Well, thank you, girls. Just another quick break here before we reach the final quarter of this exciting match between the British Army and the Royal Air Force, the first in this year's Open competition. We have already had two games. We've had the development match, which the Army won 44-23 against the RAF, and in the Masters, the RAF won 51-18 to the Navy. And of course, every day this week there will be 3 matches, including the men's match, which is tonight as well. But we will be back in a couple of minutes, or a minute or so, for the final quarter here in Portsmouth.
This is about honing skills in this environment, but it's also about trying out new tactics to ensure the battle group can be effective.
The truth, of course, is that these soldiers are returning to a battlefield that is becoming increasingly difficult for Ukraine.
This is about international integration. It's about relationship building and understanding how our more diverse platforms can operate together.
This is Vahana, one of 35 now in operation right across the Royal Navy.
The troops have been rehearsing to show off their newfound skills to an audience of VIPs.
Their mission was to help maintain and improve the animal enclosures across the park.
Towards the near post, he's heading on, and he to the back of the net. That's a great save around the goalkeeper. Ball comes in, it is a leveller. And it's a goal! 2-1 Navy! It's a goal shot!
Well, welcome back. We're day one here at the Inter-Services Netball in Portsmouth. We are at the Ravelin Sports Centre, which is opposite HMS Temeraire, home, of course, to Royal Navy Sport. And like I said, we've already had 2 matches here today. The development matches this morning, and then the Masters got to play. The Army won that first one against the RAF, and the RAF beat the Navy in the Masters match, and we're now into the Open competition, which I suppose is the premium competition in terms of, you know, you have the creme of the creme, I would say, and of course yourself, Hetty, and Ruby will be involved in the Navy's fight this year, and yeah, looking forward to. I mean, at the moment, it very much looks like you'll be playing the RAF tomorrow.
Yes, I think so.
So what you know. You've got perfect position here. You can go away and analyse them. Is that what tonight will be about?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's your advantage when you're hosting, is you get to watch that first match and watch everybody, their strengths and weaknesses. And I think definitely the one to watch is the RAF defence. They have, although they've not converted those turnovers necessarily, they have one ball and they have a strong defence. So that will be definitely what we'll be looking at.
It's fabulous to watch, but it does make you a little nervous.
A little nervous. I'm a little bit nervous.
And, you know, and then as the tournament sort of weans itself out, and then we'll get to Friday, which I suppose you guys will hope will be a decider. You know, if you can turn the RAF over tomorrow, then you get to face the Army on, I'm assuming, given it's 44-13, that it will be an Army win. It'll be quite some comeback if it wasn't.
I was going to say, Hail Mary might have to appear on this one.
Shot there, we're going by Tamara.
Tamara Samuel, who's had a fantastic few minutes on court. It's like she's been playing Army netball for a long time.
What a take from Chloe.
And the smiles on face.
Oh,
you know, people are still enjoying this.
I know.
How dare she have time to celebrate that? Yeah,
Not
well
working
done,
hard
Chloe.
enough.
Yeah.
That was a lovely tip as well by Olivia Towie.
Yes. Tomorrow, footwork, unfortunately. Emmy Jakeman then for the RAF.
Oh, straight into Miller's hands.
Sometimes you don't see them. I mean, I get that. I sort of get arm blindness, and I'm thinking, well, that was such a silly pass, but...
I think especially as defence as well, because suddenly we're in the attacking mode and we forget arms exist and people start defending us.
Yeah, forget attackers can defend. Liv just keeping it nice and slow with the RAF. They just need to keep working it in.
Oh, unfortunate. So unfortunate. Exactly the right idea.
It's a teensy bit too much on it. Lovely little connection there between Izzy and Mally and Dee. Just bringing the ball down.
That's the older than you. I'm sure Dee won't mind me saying that. But
no. Oh, the athleticism on that.
Something else, yes. Looks like she could be a gymnast as well.
Literally, that jump. The RAF just need to keep putting their hands up, keep trying to confuse that pass so that Emmy can do that.
Yeah, but then you've got Millie coming in for the Army. It's 47-13. Libby Weddle then with the RAF centre pass. I thought she was going to call footwork, but it's still light blue ball.
They've just got to work it in. They've just got to keep it short and sharp and precise.
Oh, lovely take by Boundy. Oh, unfortunately couldn't follow that up. Yeah.
That was such a lovely work into the circle between all the attackers there as well. Ooh, a little bit of a fight going on.
Yeah, I think what Tamara Samuel's doing in that, she's got such good sideways movement as well. She's back forth, she's sideways.
She has.
And so even evading the likes of Emmy Jakeman.
She's strong. She's fit.
And her timing as well. She's holding Emmy until that last moment and then moving on to the ball. So Emmy's not got chance to come around her body.
She's a patient player. So patient.
Oh no. Weddle with one in the face, unfortunately.
And that's just tiredness kicking in, you know, being in that final quarter. Silly mistakes will start to reappear almost like in that first quarter.
Sweaty hands.
And sometimes it gets too fast, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Your head's running faster than your legs can carry you.
Yeah, I think especially when you're trying to get the ball back as well. Oh, her timing is just perfect.
She's fabulous.
Lovely feeds as well from Millie.
Well, we talk about the Army strength and depth, and we've got perfect example of it here, as a bit of football's introduced into the netball court.
Oh,
Jakeman, she just reads the game so well. She's not making it easy. However incredible Tamara has been, she's not making it easier for Tamara
No, of course not
at all.
Well, the fact that Tamara's been able to get it at all is credit to her, but
definitely.
Oh. The RAF then with another chance using Weddle in the middle.
It's a backwards roll there from
Knock. Yeah.
Gymnastics, football, getting all the sports.
We like to keep it interesting.
Unlucky. That was a lovely
shame.
fake as well. Just forcing defenders out into...
Oh, you've got to be so tight on that footwork. It's
have.
As an umpire as well, just to notice that with everything else that's going on.
Definitely.
I don't think I could umpire. I'd be too busy watching the game that I forget about things like feet.
Yeah, you stick to commentary, Ruby. It's fine. It's much more enjoyable. No one's having a go at you yet. Well,
I know.
They might be on the comments, but we'll leave them be.
Getting names wrong.
Well, I do that all the time.
Rachel has had such a fab impact there in wing attack. Rachel Rogers, just again working the ball along the edge. Oh, they're fighting the circle.
This is the ball spinning.
Literally.
Actually, I really like. I don't know whether Chloe and Tamara play together outside of Army netball, but they just seem to have this connection about where she is when Chloe's got the ball.
Yeah,
especially
definitely.
on that goal on the D.
Fantastic work there from Izzy O'Malley just to stop Olivia being able to get her drive.
5 rifles is Izzy.
Oh.
And
that's one thing that defence, I think we have a habit of doing, is when we get the turnover, sometimes you just need to land your feet. You get a bit excited and end up throwing it away.
Yeah, the RAF being forced into these high passes.
Yeah.
So Atmos Mike, Charlotte Brooker, sorry, using it to stop her run into the crowd. Oh, Towie.
I feel like she could have caught that one.
Yeah, maybe that was a bit of frustration.
Bit of tiredness.
But then she knew Dee Balacoro was on her on her shoulder.
You're going to get frustrated and tired.
Oh. Ooh. That was me. I jinxed that because I was just talking how wonderful Marion and Samuel were playing together.
Yeah.
Oh. Pick up by the Army.
Lovely there by Chloe, just holding the ball for a second, trying to get the team to calm down a little bit. Both teams have got a bit frantic.
It just shows you, like, doesn't matter which side you're on, you're going to have that fatigue in that final quarter.
Doesn't matter if you're winning or not.
Yeah, and it's... I very much doubt the Army are in any way complacent, because they will just want to... They'll win and they'll want to win big. But
yeah, definitely.
There's an element of that where you're that far ahead. But you know, you shouldn't... That doesn't mean you can afford to play, to make mistakes.
Absolutely not. You've got to keep your feet on the ground and just keep sending the best passes down. Lovely shot there by Francesca, just trying to pump her team up.
Yeah, and her support as well.
The crowd definitely uplifted on that shot, which is fabulous.
Oh, lovely. Fantastic pressure by the defence there.
So 54 to 14, a good 40 goal gap, unfortunately, for the Light Blues.
But they're still fighting for it. They're still putting all that energy in. They're not going down without a fight at all, which is still fabulous to see in this final quarter.
No, you just keep playing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, British Army had a game against Malawi in January, and to be honest, that was gone within the first half. But it's a game that Malawi wanted to play. They wanted it in the lead up to their. I think they had a Quad Nations tournament, and the Army were. you know, it was a learning curve for them.
Definitely.
It was amazing to see the likes of, you know, this team here.
Yeah.
Against international opposition and the big divide that there is there.
Definitely.
But,
and playing better teams is how you get better, because if you're playing a team who's outsmarted you in tactics and are just better than you, then you've got to play smart netball.
Yeah,
it's a fabulous learning opportunity.
It absolutely is.
It lifts up your own game.
It makes you think.
If they can do it, why can't I? Absolutely. We're all human at the end of the day.
And also playing a team like Malawi, who play a different...
Oh, what an interception.
A different type of netball, really.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
Internationally, it's different in different corners of the world, isn't it?
Definitely.
But yeah, the RAF here with another chance.
A lovely take from Emmy Jakeman just to win the RAF the ball back. Picked up by Francesca.
Captain against vice captain there.
Yeah. She's really just become the playmaker in this last 5 minutes. She's just desperate for her team to keep the ball safe and get it into the circle.
And that is Sam Courtis back on in the goal shooter position for the Royal Air Force.
Oh, what a take from Olivia Towie.
Yeah.
I think her graft as a defender has just got me in awe. She's just playing wing attack and then getting tips left, right, centre.
Has she played wing attack for the whole game, Towie?
I think so.
It'd be great to see her as like maybe a centre or a wing defence, bringing those elements, you know, in different ways.
I think.
And actually in Izzy O'Malley, you've got someone, she's playing wing defence, but she can also go into the circle and play goal defence as well.
Yes, she can. She's a really good circle defender as well.
Ooh, Noelle, another rare miss there. So we've got a Samuel Noelle partnership there now.
There by Charlotte Brooker. Is it Charlotte Brooker?
Yeah. Big goal defence, yep. So just 4 minutes remaining of this final quarter and this first match of the Open Championship for Inter-Services Netball 2025.
Actually, they're just timing, and it's not just Tamara's timing on movement, it's the feeds into her are just perfectly.
They're such a well-oiled team, and it shows, you know, the Army are an experienced team and the RAF are a completely new team, and you know, maybe next season with the RAF they iron out those kind of crinkles and they become used to playing with each other, and then, you know, next year again will be a completely different game.
Changes every season. Taken in there.
Yeah, Kennard. Francesca Kennard-Kettle, she's sort of doing what Olivia Tower was doing, which was, you know, being available for every other ball.
Yes, definitely. I think she's just trying to... And actually, Catherine Chadwick's doing a fabulous job in goal defence, which you don't see a lot. You don't see her come out of the third a lot.
Yeah.
But she's doing a really good job of it.
Yes, I've noticed now that double marking as well in the of Tamara Samuel. That's blue ball.
So it's a contact against Ellie there.
So up to 16 now, the RAF against the Army's 55, and we've got 2.5 minutes left. Of course, with netball, there is no injury or extra time. It is just playing to the clock. And there'll be some tired bodies out there. And the RAF will have to get themselves up again to play tomorrow.
Oh, that was a lovely feed.
Sam Courtis then with a bit of a free kick there. Lovely from
just
the RAF shooter.
Back in.
Yeah. And she took a bit of time there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. I think that might be footwork.
I think the
replay ball.
Replay ball.
Yeah.
Would have been one or the other, but a lovely fight.
Don't think you can get away with a tumble, can you?
A bit of breakdancing as well was thrown in there.
What a
from
take
Brooker,
from Charlotte
lovely.
Brooker. Just not giving Ellie the space to get the ball.
Francesca Kennard-Kettle was up then. She said, play it back, you know, stay calm.
Stay calm.
Unfortunately, have not gone the way of the RAF, though.
There. Oh,
just
lovely.
That's almost
Can't
a hand
fault
off
it.
there.
If you can't do it, do it. Yeah, the Army have given themselves the room to get these high passes in. Sometimes Ellie Noelle can be a bit too clever for her teammates.
She's just so solid to get around. You really saw Emmy there having to hustle to try and get around her. She uses her body so well.
So we're into the final 40 seconds, final minute here. And the crowd have certainly come to life.
The RAF just wanting that last goal.
Yeah, maybe as a...
Just to prove to themselves that they can do it, that they can beat some Army defence, and that they are...
Oh, taken.
That all the training that they've been doing has been fabulous.
Too much.
Okay, now it's getting a bit crazy, girls. We've just got 10 seconds left on the clock here.
Will they be lobbing it into G? Holding time gives them those 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
Can they do
Can
two
they
passes
get it down?
in that time?
One. In 5 seconds.
Two.
Oh, straight, just got to fling it.
And one. They're just going to fling that one. But it's
what a
over.
game.
It's finished.
The pressure.
Game number 1 is over in the Open Championship. And it is the Army who emerge victorious with a 40-goal deficit, 57-17 against the Royal Air Force. And, well, we've seen some Army dominance here because actually the RAF had some amazing patches, and I think after the first quarter we weren't entirely sure that that they couldn't bring it back, but it just got wider and wider, that gap. Hetty, you've played against most of these players. I know you've been impressed by elements of the RAF game, but the Army are going to be so pleased with such a strong first outing here at the Inter-Services.
Definitely, and they should be. They just do. Even if they lose the ball, they work hard, they get it back, and more importantly, when they make turnovers, they just get it to post. They get it into goal every time, and you can't. You're winning your centres and you're winning your turnovers. That's how you're going to win the game, which they did so well.
And Ruby, I hope you've had a good first time on commentary next to your very experienced colleague here, Hetty, of course. We're going to try and get onto the pitch, the court, to speak to the captain. So if you girls just want to stay here and chat a little bit longer as I make my way onto the court, and we will go and find the winning captain when we can.
Thank you.
So which cam you want? Corner cam, yeah?
I can't hear her. Okay, we are joined by Army captain, winning captain here, Ellie. Congratulations. That's a pretty strong statement for a first game up against a very determined RAF side.
Yeah, definitely. I think we want to change it slightly this year, because the last 2 years we've been head-to-head in especially first quarters. So this year we want to change it slightly. We knew they were going to come out strong for us, so we were mentally prepared for that. Thank you.
And they're quite, so there's a lot of new faces in the side, whereas if you look at your Army side, you're well established. Got some, yourself and Dee, as she walks past me, there's some really well established players, Catherine Chadwick including that. But you've got a couple of new faces as well, Izzy O'Malley coming in, Katie Hawkins, so strength and depth then for the Army.
Yeah, you're saying that. That was, I think there was a bit more pressure for us, because we previous years we know who we're going up against, but this year there was a lots of new faces in RAF team, so we had no idea who was coming in for us. So so for us we've got a couple of new faces like Izzy, Katie and Tamara in the shootings, and so they raised the bar for us.
Tamara's going to give you a run for the money in that position, isn't she?
Definitely. I think it's time for me to retire.
She says that, but I know you'll be back next year. You get a day of rest now before you face the host, the Navy, on Friday, but you'll be back, I'm sure, to watch the RAF Navy game tomorrow, just to do your homework on the senior service.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll be back here tomorrow watching them, see what we can pick up going forward for Friday's match, and we are prepping for that. Looking forward.
Okay, congratulations, Ellie Nawali, 57-17 winning captain of the Army, and we'll see you again on Friday.
Thank you. Cheers.
Well, thanks very much to Ellie. It is, of course, the end of day one here in Portsmouth, but we will join you again tomorrow, same time, 3 o'clock kickoff for the RAF against the Royal Navy.
Towards the near post, he's headed on, and he to the back of the net. That's a great save around the goalkeeper. Ball comes in, it is a leveller. And it's a goal! 2-1 Navy! It's a goal, John!